Are we gonna see any females return?
just getting at Lexi because she's been trending since last week on Twitter. I can reveal that I just read a script, like literally in the past 2 weeks, that completely floored me. I had no idea, and it's wild.
More shocking than Patrick's return? Or as shocking?
To me, it was more shocking.
Before we kind of get started, I mean, we are living in crazy times right now. Just how are you kind of doing with everything?
I'm doing good. I gave birth during the pandemic. I have a almost 4-month-old son, and I have a 3-year-old that, is kind of sick of lockdown, but we're all being safe, and, we're just thankful that we're all healthy still right now.
How is Hayden adjusting to being a big sister?
I think right now it's still like world of Hayden is how she's adjusting. I mean, I think she thinks she's like, oh, like we got another cute puppy kind of like situation. She's like, oh, he's so cute. And then it's like, okay, now everybody watch me. I'm going to sing Elsa. So she's adjusted really well. She thinks he's very, very cute, but he's still sort of a baby blob right now. So let's see what happens when he starts like stealing her toys.
Right. What was it like, to give birth amid everything? Was it scary at all?
It was scary to give birth during everything. It really was. I tried not to think about it, but things were just different. My husband couldn't come to any of my ultrasounds. You have to wear a mask, and you have to wear a mask in labor. So I was, in labor in a mask for like over 15 hours, which was like pretty daunting.
Wow. It makes an already difficult situation that much more difficult.
It definitely does. I'm someone that likes to have all the birthday drugs, that's what I call them, to make you feel more comfortable. So once I, got my epidural and everything like that, I kind of relaxed enough to sort of forget about the mask, to be honest. But it was daunting. No visitors, none of that happening.
Was your family, was your husband bummed not to be able to be in the delivery room?
Well, my husband could be in the delivery room, thank God, but no other person could come visit or be with you. And none of our family members have actually met our 4-month-old, and they're not going to for Christmas either because they're not coming for Christmas this year. We canceled the trip.
Are you guys now getting any sleep at least, or how is it?
No, never. There was no sleep to begin with. No, we're not really getting any sleep, but I think that there's a point as new parents parents to a baby, we're not new parents, but parents to a child, where you're just sort of running on that parent adrenaline, and then you crash out at the end of the night, and that's sort of, that's sort of what we're doing.
Is it hard now with you being back to work to be dealing with that and all the protocols that are on set, and then to come home and you want to, I'm sure, make sure that your family is safe?
Yeah, I definitely, in a weird, strange way, I actually feel safer, even though I'm working amongst a lot more people. And before I was just completely in my own bubble.
Yeah.
Everyone gets tested 3 times a week. So there's that constant reassurance that you're testing negative. And, when I come home, I strip off my clothes, I take a shower before I hug the kids and kind of do stuff like that. It's difficult though. It definitely is difficult. And it's a lot of trust that goes into trusting those people around you that you're working with every day.
Well, let's talk about the show because there's so much going on. I want to start with Joe and Jackson.
Okay.
What was your reaction when you first heard about this storyline?
Well, I first heard about it right before we actually shut down. And then the storyline got tweaked just a little bit to be a COVID sex pod is what I'm calling it.
Yeah.
But I was really shocked, but excited at the same time. First off, I do love working with Jessie Williams. We always have asked for scenes together because we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun between takes together. It's just really, we enjoy it. So I was excited to do the scenes, but I was also excited to see a single Joe this season and to see what she looks like as a woman out there in the world dating.
Sure. Do you think she is still in love with Karev, or part of her will always be?
That's a really interesting question. I think at this point, I don't think she's in love with him anymore. That would be my guess, is that she's not in love with him anymore, but that she was in love with the life they had and the idea of the future they had together. And I think that might be more painful to let go of for her.
Sure.
So I think it's not the person anymore. I think it's what they had.
I mean, with Jackson, she did try to hook up with him initially, and it didn't work out. I think because she was kind of trying to figure out what is single Joe like.
Yes.
What is like sans Karev.
Yeah, and I think that even if you're not in love with someone, like that first kiss of kissing somebody after you've kissed someone for so long is so strange and jarring. It probably brings up a bunch of stuff. That's what I felt like she was feeling. But I think that it was just a lot of feelings at once. And then she was ready.
What do you think it was about that second time? I mean, you said all of a sudden she was ready. Do you think anything shifted emotionally for her? Do you think she gave herself a pep talk in a way?
I think that she wasn't drinking vodka from a bottle, which helped. I think that there was no pressure. I think that she put pressure on herself and there wasn't any. And sometimes and it wasn't a date situation whatsoever. There wasn't like, the Jackson playing Kenny G.
Right.
So I think exactly. So I think with like the pressure off, she realized in that moment, like, oh, actually I'm ready. And just
both of them said they do not want a relationship. This is just a quarantine hookup. Do you believe that?
Yes and no. I mean, I don't believe it because it's Grey's Anatomy and like, this is what happens. But playing her right now, I believe that she believes it. That's what I think. And right now, that is what is happening in our season. But I haven't seen, there's half of the season that I haven't read, so it could change.
What would it look like if they were to enter into a relationship?
You know what? I actually think that they would be a really fun couple. I think that they would have that like banter back and forth of sort of making fun of each other, which you will see in the episode we're about to shoot right now. Actually, we're shooting next week. You kind of see that happening between them already. So I think that they would be that like very jokey couple with each other. And hopefully, I also think that because they've had things have already happened between them that are very intimate and vulnerable, I think hopefully that they would be open with talking about their feelings.
Sure.
Because they already had a conversation that was pretty awkward to have at the door where he was like, I'm not ready. And she explained why, and she said the same thing and explained why too.
Would you like it to turn more serious?
I have mixed opinions on it. Yes, because I love working with Jesse. And yes, because I think Jackson maybe is a good guy, but I also want to see her play the field a little bit.
Do you think she has her eye on any other?
I don't think there is anybody else because it's COVID and there's no options. But I would like to sort of see more of what single Joe is like.
Okay. I was going to ask you, I mean, she was in such a dark place after Karev left, and I feel like last season in general, she was in a pretty dark place.
Yeah.
Do you think now is kind of the start of a new beginning, a new chapter for Joe, and like there's light at the end of the tunnel for her?
I definitely do. And it's interesting you say that because I think that it's more, I'm going to be very cryptic about it because I can't spoil anything, but there are a lot of elements of her life that she's sort of reassessing this season and thinking, does this make me happy? Does this not make me happy? What can I do to change it?
Is she questioning her career path?
Maybe. You'll have to watch. I will not say anything else, but there are other things she kind of questions. And I think, during COVID, you have a lot of time to sit and think. I think she has a lot of time to sit and think and sort of really reassess everything.
Something else that has been amazing to watch is the return of some of our favorite beloved characters.
Meredith!
Derek. Patrick Dempsey, T.R. Knight. We do know that Patrick is going to appear in more episodes.
Yes.
What should we expect?
The truth is I have no idea. And the reason I have no idea is because we are not given those scenes in our scripts. And the crew, when they go to the beach, actually is not given the scenes. They can't even hear what they're saying. That's how secret these scenes are. So a lot of times, even when crew members are there shooting it, like hair and makeup and stuff, I'll say, well, how did it go? What are they talking about? We knew of people that were coming back, but we don't know how it ends, what the context is, any of that stuff. So we're watching with you guys when we see it.
Do you think, I know you don't know, but is there a world in which there is a Meredith kiss in the future?
Okay, so I truly don't know. My Camilla theory that if they kiss, does that mean that she's choosing that world?
Oh, and then we don't really get her back.
And then we might not get her back. But I don't know. I mean, that's like, I have so many theories on it because we don't even really know what it is. Is she dreaming? Is it purgatory? Like what? I don't know what the beach really is.
Right.
And I think it's left up to us to interpret the way we want it to for that exact reason. But I worry, does she not get close? Like, why can't she get close?
What is your biggest theory about what the beach signifies?
My theory about the beach is that it's not a dream. My theory is that she's teetering between both worlds. The world of like the George conversation has really happened, like spiritually happened. To me, it like really happened, and Derek's really speaking to her, and it's not just a dream she keeps happening. It kind of happens when she slips in and out of consciousness. None of us have been briefed as to what it really means. And I think that we're waiting as well as, you know, with the audience to see what it means.
I do want to know who else is coming back, because there's been lots of rumors about that. Can you tell me how many other people are coming back?
It's probably the biggest secret of our season.
I mean, it's a massive secret. Is there anyone whose return has shocked you more than Patrick Dempsey's?
No.
That was the biggest shock.
Patrick returning is like, to me as a fan watching, was like, it can't be beat. That's how I feel.
Okay.
Because I loved Meredith together.
Are we going to see any females return?
You're just getting at Lexi because she's been trending since last week on Twitter, right? I
mean, I do think like Lexi and Mark, people really want them to come back.
I don't know.
Is there a percentage?
I mean, I do know, but I'm not going to tell. I'm not going to say yes or no, either way.
Okay. Meredith is entering a COVID trial thanks to Richard's decision. What should we expect from this storyline moving forward?
So this is, it's hard because it's a really weird season for us. This is the first season that we don't know. It's actually a conversation that happens on set all the time. I was just on set the other day and we're like, what do you think is gonna happen? And we truly don't know. So usually I'd be able to tease kind of something about that question, but this is the first season that I have no idea. I don't know what's gonna happen to Meredith Grey. I really do not.
That makes me worried.
It makes me worried too.
Do you think, I mean, she has said that they've thought about how the show could potentially end.
Yeah.
Do you think because all these people are coming back and they are being so secretive that this could be the last season?
Listen, I think that every season could be the last season. I think that I've always felt that because we're on the air for 17 seasons. So I'm like, this will be the last season. And then we keep going on and the fans keep watching and showing up.
What do you guys say when you talk about it on set? Like, are there rumblings of, do we think this show is ending?
The rumblings are always like, we can't end, right? Like, surely we have there's no way, because every single season the storylines just blow us away. And so I think we always feel like there's so much more story that we could always tell. But, there is definitely an element of wanting to, I'm sure, go out on top. And, it's still the #1 show and the fans still adore it. I think there's so much more Joe's story to tell. One day I think that I want her at some point, to have her family that she wants. I want her to find love again. I want her to be a bad doctor. I mean, there's so many things that I want for her.
Do you think if Ellen leaves the show, there is a show without Ellen Pompeo?
That's a good question. I I have always thought, because Shonda has said that, you know, the show goes with Ellen, like when they're done, they're done. And so I think that that's just the way I've personally always pictured it.
Okay. Well, I hope that she's not ready to leave. Tom Koracick looks to be in bad condition. We see him sort of wrapped up in a blanket, profusely sweating. What can you reveal about his fate? Is their recovery something that we should hope for?
Well, if anyone's going to survive it, it's going to be Tom Koracick, isn't it?
I mean, he's
Tom Koracick.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, again, like my answer, unfortunately, is really similar. That in our scripts that we're reading right now, he's still sick. So I don't know where that's going. And I hadn't, you know, it's interesting because, you know, I watched the show live on Thursday, and it's the first time I'm seeing it too, and it was very jarring. You know, it's written that he's like shaking and shivering, but that image of him was really jarring to me to see. So I don't know. I feel like it's Tom Koracick. He's gonna, of course, beat it, but we haven't read the scripts is the honest answer.
Thinking ahead, you guys are obviously still shooting. Are there more shocking moments, tearful moments ahead? What can you reveal about what's to come?
Okay, so I can reveal that I just read a script, like literally in the past 2 weeks, that completely floored me. I had no idea, and it's wild. This season is just like, honestly, this season just like turns everything on their head. In fact, I didn't even believe it. I was like, that's not real. And I was like texting people, and then it's a crazy season.
More shocking than Patrick's return? Or as shocking?
In a to me, it was more shocking.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, to somebody else, it might not be, but to me, I just really did not see it coming.
Yeah. Do any other doctors contract COVID-19?
I can say, obviously, it's an extremely contagious disease, and they're working on the front lines. So it's definitely possible that any one of us can. Absolutely.
Does Joe get it?
I can't say.
What are the chances Karev could return?
Can we please not have another ex-husband for Joe show up? This poor girl. I just feel like, how many are there?
I mean, do you think it would help to give her closure, though, if he did come back for some reason?
I think the reality is, for a lot of people, is that they don't get that moment where they like are speaking to their ex. So I think it's real to show that sometimes you have to move on without having the sit down conversation. And so I think that she talks about being in therapy. I actually like that she's able to work through it. And it doesn't depend on whether he picks up the phone and calls her and wants to discuss it. I think it's like a very empowering storyline for her.